everybody, welcome to Disney Done Differently. So today, a friend of mine, Nate, asked about meatballs. Now, Ilmulino, polpettini. Some places make polpettone, larger meatballs. Mama Melrose, horrible. Tony's, forget about it, don't go there. But a whole bunch of different Italian restaurants, they try to do it. Now, folks, I've never in my life had spaghetti and meatballs together. Nor will I, ever. But meatballs, polpettini, it's an appetizer, it's a side dish. You cook it with your pasta. We're gonna make meatballs today. And we're gonna do them a little differently. Ma, these are my meatballs. A little differently. Let's go.
Alright, so today we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the trinity of meat. I've always done this way. You make polpettini, which is small, or you make polpettone, which are large. I prefer a mixture of both. So, to start with this, we're going to start with 1 pound of ground chuck. This is a traditional chopped meat, nothing special about it, 80-20. And then to that, I like to add sausage out of the casing. This is ground sausage, it's Italian sausage. And then the baby beef. We add veal. So we got a half a pound of veal, a half a pound of sausage, and a pound of, just chopped meat. So you just want to give this a good mix. You want to blend this all together. Remember, so you got 80-20, so 20% fat with the ground chuck. Your sausage has more of a fat content, which is going to add tons of flavor. And then the veal has hardly any, right? So you just combine them and add some salt, a touch of pepper, and that's it. I mean, it's really, at this point, we're all set. We're going to put this to the side. Now, a lot of meatballs, people call for breadcrumb, right? To me, breadcrumb dries out the meatball. So, I'm going to show you, this is actually a French technique. It's called a panade. So we're going to add 2 cups of milk over about a half a loaf of Italian bread, day-old bread. What you want to do with the bread is to really, it's got to become almost like a paste. You're going to add this to the milk, and you want it to sit good. I like it to sit 20 to 30 minutes. It's a little excessive, but I like it really, really to absorb as much as that milk as possible. And we're going to make this, this is how you're going to have a nice, tender, delicious meatball. Alright, so while the bread's resting, a nice bunch of flat leaf Italian parsley. And just give it a nice chop. I don't add the parsley directly into the meat. I do something a little different to it. Again, done differently, folks, so we're going to do that a little differently. Just give it a nice fine chop. And then to this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add it to a pan with a little bit of olive oil and some garlic. I want it to get crispy. I don't want it to cook or so much get fried, but I just wanted to get a little temperature on it. Alright, so in the pan, like I said, I have some garlic paste and I got some olive oil. I'm just going to take that, add the parsley right in. And again, you just break in temperature. You don't want anything to be overcooked, but you're just going to get these flavors mixed together. Garlic, olive oil, parsley, beautiful. And we'll just put this on the oven for a little while, and it'll come out nice. Alright, so go back to our meat. Bread soaking, got the parsley on the stove. Alright, now we got to get to the good stuff. So now, I'm going to add eggs. I'm adding 4 eggs. Just crack them into a separate bowl so they're ready to go. And now to that, now I get garlic over in that in the parsley mixture, but we're gonna add a lot more garlic into your meatballs for the flavor, folks. You gotta add it in there. Remember, the garlic that's in the pan is adding to the oil, and that's gonna flavor the parsley, right? So it's almost like you consider it like spent, all right? It's doing its job in there. It's liquefying and becoming, it's a totally different, separate garlic factor than what we're going to be adding directly to the meat. So with that, So now we got our eggs in here. Remember the bread? Now, you see, the bread have soaked up majority of the milk. And that's really what you want. See, now, you see how much it's soaked up? That's really what you want. So, we're going to put this to the side. Honestly, hardest part of the whole thing, right? We got to drain the bread. Okay, so it's absorbed it, and you're going to just squeeze out. What a mess I'm making. Look at this mess. But anyway, we got to squeeze out as much of the milk as possible so that it becomes like that paste almost, like I was telling you. It's like a big bread ball. Let me move this to the side. Okay. So, we're going to squeeze as much of the milk out of the bread. And we're still making a mess, but we're getting, it's a less of a mess, we should say. But you're squeezing it out, put it to the side. We're going to be adding this directly to the chopped meat. Now remember, folks, I said this is a panade. This is going to replace basically the breadcrumb that you would add, or panko breadcrumbs. I feel it dries it out. This makes your meatball moist. Alright, so we got our meat, our garlic. We're going to add this panade, the bread soaked in the milk, right into it. Your eggs, salt, pepper, tons of flavors. See the layers of flavors that we're building. And then you use the best tools that God gave you, your hands. You got to get in there. You got to mix this up. Now, all you're doing at this point is giving this a combine. Now, are you going to have little pieces of bread sometimes you can see within the meatball? Yeah, if the bread didn't soak up enough and you get like a little bit of chunk, it's okay. Once it's cooked, you can't tell the difference because your meat's going to be so tender. It's going to be the consistency of the bread. And you can stretch your meatball a little bit longer with this. But, again, it all depends on the size of the meatballs that you like to make. Again, polpettini, small, little meatballs, polpettone, large. But once this is mixed, folks, this is half your battle, and we're ready to go. Alright, so now at this point, we're going to add that parsley. You're not trying to actually add as much oil. You can get some of the oil in there. It's not going to hurt anything. But I'd rather strain out the parsley because that's the main part that we want to do. This pot is very important. You're going to use this pot in a little later stage. So you just scoop out your parsley, get it in there, and give it a really good mix. Alright, now that everything is nice incorporated, fully mixed, we have to add one of the most important ingredients, the cheese. Right? I'm going with Pecorino Romano. A lot of people like Parmigiano Reggiano. To me, it's a little too salty for my meatball. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, Parmigiano Reggiano, the undisputed cheese of cheeses. And, again, so you got your beautiful, how much did I add? I added about this much. And you got to go back to your hands, folks. You got to mix that cheese in there. Now, to me, the cheese, at this point, is starting to actually dry down your meatball. So, again, if you use the breadcrumb, it would work twice as dry. So, this is why I do the style of meatball that I do. No offense, Ma. Grandma did a little different. My grandmother used to hide pinoli nuts in it. They're very expensive. I've heard of people putting raisins. Can't do that. Can't do a raisin in my meatball. It's just crazy. But some people do. And then as we got older, we thought they were pinoli nuts again. You get excited, but really it was just a big chunk of garlic. All in all, it's a good day. Alright, let's make some meatballs. Roll them out and head over to the stove. Alright, so we got our meatballs here. Right, nice sized meatballs. Broke them up. Got my oil on the pan. You want to make sure your oil's hot. And like anything, like I always say, whenever you're adding something to oil, remember the temperature is going to come down. And this is it, folks. You got your meatballs. You're just going to drop them into the oil. And what we're looking for is a sear. We want a nice crust around the outside of the meatball. That caramelized color on the meat is where all your flavor is going to be coming from. The mixture between the beef, the veal, the sausage, the parsley, garlic, the cheese, the eggs. and the bread that we added. Just put them into the pan, and you want them to let them go, and then you give them a little flip. These are going to be delicious. And there you go. You see the char that's on either side, flipping them over. Beautiful golden brown. Oil's getting that foam. You see that foam that's within the oil? Can't beat that. This I wish you guys could smell what it smells like right now in this kitchen. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, if you go over to a place like Ilmulino, they serve you 3 little polpettinis. They're nice as an appetizer. And then I go to some places where they'll give you 1 or 2. In my restaurant, we used to serve 1 big meatball. That was something different. And remember that pan I was telling you about that we had the parsley and the oil and the garlic in? Well, once your meatballs are done, you're going to take them out. I cooked mine 3/4 of the way because I want them to finish off in the sauce. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to add them to that pan. Just be very careful as you're taking them out of the hot oil. Add them to that pan, and I'll show you that next step. Alright, so we got the last batch in there. Here they are. Right? I put them into the pan, and then I added the tomato sauce on top of it. This allows you for the actual meatballs to absorb that sauce. My sauce has been cooked out. You don't want them to break up because then you're always going to have like a bolognese sauce type of thing. You don't want that. It's going to be a mess. The whole thing is to flavor the meatball with the sauce and let the sauce work together. You don't want a meat flavored sauce for this situation, what we're doing. And that's it, folks. Look how simple, right? Drop these meatballs in. Look at the char on the bottom of this meatball. That is gorgeous. Just go around the pan gently, slowly, nothing flipping, right? Nice and easy. And you got beautiful meatballs. A lot of people like the fried meatballs just like this. They just fry them. No tomato sauce. Just like that. My uncle likes it like that. And let me tell you, a lot of Sundays I used to growing up, this was breakfast because I would get up too late and they'd be getting ready for dinner. No, but simple, easy. I showed you all the steps. All right, let's have some fun.
All right. So now the famous go to plate, right? So you'll always see polpettini served, or meatballs, polpettone, whichever size it is. Will always be served in 3s. Why? Because 3s are good luck. Odd numbers, actually. Good luck. Alright, so a little there. Pull this one. A little there. And finish it with a little bit of cheese. And a touch of some parsley. Polpettini, folks. There's your meatballs. But we're doing it differently. So let's get rid of this and let's show you how to make a real meatball sandwich. Now, a lot of people are just going to add mozzarella to the sandwich with the sauce. Okay? Not I. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I make my meatball sandwiches. Key ingredient for a meatball sandwich that a lot of people won't understand: ricotta. Just get a little bit of ricotta, mix it in there. David Picciano and John Siccheri, Big Fat Panda. I hope you Italians can appreciate this. So I'm going to use these over here. Okay. So I'm going to go with this meatball here. Nice. Get in there. Right. You could break them up a little bit. Let's go with this guy. Right on top there. And then let's go with this guy. It's hard to do with one hand, folks. I'm not going to do it with one hand. Look at that. 2 hands right in there. So I got my meatballs. I got my sauce. I'm going to cover that with mozzarella. I'm going to put it on a tray. Nice. And in the oven we go. You know this is hot. It's gonna burn, burn baby burn. That's a delicious meatball. It's got so much flavor. The layers with everything that we just went through. The sauce, phenomenal. Make this, I showed you, nice, easy, fry them. Don't put them into the pot with the sauce. Put it in a separate pot. Hit your sauce on top of there and let that come up temperature. Oh, the sandwich? Let me show you. So tonight, folks, when I make these things, 90% of the time it's for dinner for my family. So, there's 3 of us, my lovely daughter, my wife, and myself. So we need 3 sandwiches. Let me show you. There they are. This is my dinner. The one on the end, it's so hot right now. That's the one with the ricotta. Am I going to cut it in half and show you? Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll have dinner with my family. We'll enjoy our meatballs. Nate, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make these meatballs. And if you do, send it over. Send over a picture on Instagram. Matter of fact, you want to see the rest of the sandwich? Jump over to my Instagram, take a look. I hope you enjoyed what you watched tonight. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your friends. Don't forget, every other Wednesday, Facebook Live, 8:30 p.m., Airbnb Disney Podcast. You have a lot of fun. You won't have meatballs. Take care.